Endings and beginnings. Having repelled the Empire from the realm and reclaimed the occupied region of Southfield, the fourth-born Prince Levantia Shatham becomes the 12th King of Alatane in Whitsbreath 1503. The ascension of a new monarch to the throne was expected to put an end to the kingdom's enduring hardships. And yet, beyond this veil of hope, the darkness creeps ever closer. Soon after the coronation, the Blue Foxes must deal with Alliance looters down in Southfield. These are soon crushed, but it emerges that Imperial troops remain in Alatane. The kingdom sends out knights to look for them in every region, but they are unable to locate the remnant enemy headquarters. A full month passes before Frederick receives word that a cluster of Imperials have been spotted. The Blue Foxes head to the location at once. The Gaian Mines in Northfield.
I hope this works out.
However...
That's it. But... I'm so sorry. So, I'm...
Apologies.
all better!
Aye.
This isn't good.
It seems that foreign soldiers are sniffing around, Castovir. Did you start some new quarrel?
Of course not. Certainly not a new one, anyway.
Out with it, now.
They're likely to be Vermin Commander Dalmatio's men, looking for me. I imagine they intend to kill me, having failed in the past.
Did you do something to provoke them?
Not at all. It seems they've simply been unable to forget my betrayal.
It makes no difference.
Does that mean... Are you going to throw me to the dogs?
Quite the opposite. You are a valuable asset to the Blue Foxes. I knew full well that you were an Alliance defector when you joined. Your enemy is our enemy.
Well, well. Thank you, Andreas.
I'll draw up a plan. Tell me what I need to know.
All right, then.
The enemy has responded to our invitation. Now we need but deal with them.
They are Alliance soldiers, all right. They don't know the lay of this land. That is very much to our advantage. Our victory should be assured.
A sure victory is always welcome, but don't forget why we have to fight in the first place.
Your words wound me, but you're quite right. I am a Blue Fox, and I've caused trouble for my comrades. But fear not. I will repay my debt in full on the battlefield.
Good. Now let's go.
Those poor vermins. Such a long journey, and all in vain.
These were Dalmatio's personal troops, yes? The same as the first time they came for you? If so, diplomatic relations should remain unaffected by this episode. Now, let us search the area for remaining hostiles, then return to base.
I find your thoroughness reassuring, Andreas.
Alas, I am less reassured by your tendency to get into trouble.
Andreas, just the man I wanted to see. I've found something that may be of interest. It's a scientific discourse on the differences between ancient sorcery and modern magic. Only available on the continent, I believe. It's a good thing I'm well connected, eh?
This is all a bit sudden.
You don't want it?
Oh, it sounds intriguing. But I find the idea of a surprise gift from you rather worrying.
Haha! There's no ulterior motive, I promise. Just a token of gratitude, that's all.
Well, if this is your way of saying thank you, I shall gladly accept.
Excellent. I look forward to our future endeavors, Andreas.
Is something the matter, Tremina?
Not particularly.
Oh,
Actually, I might have a job for us. For the Blue Foxes, I mean.
what are the details?
A Southfield trader called Umbert seems to be having a lot of trouble with bandits. They're clearly being targeted for some reason, and would like us to act as bodyguards.
Umbert? You mean this is a relative of yours?
That's not relevant. Are we going to take the job?
Yes. If the price is right.
Good. Then it's settled. I'll provide more details in due course. The bandits should be just up ahead.
Listen, Tremina. I understand why you asked the Blue Foxes to assist with this task. But why hide your connection to Umbert? There is nothing odd about a daughter helping her family.
It's not relevant, I told you. Would you want people nosing into your private affairs?
Your reticence on the matter tells me everything I need to know.
Huh?
Come on, let's focus on the bandits.
Wait. What do you mean exactly? The bandits have been routed. Now tell me what you meant before.
It's nothing important. I was just thinking about your family. You became estranged from them during your activist days, didn't you? And you've kept your distance ever since. But as soon as you heard they were in trouble, you immediately wanted to help. Except, of course, you wanted to keep your involvement a secret. Is that right?
You dug up my past.
It was merely a supposition, though it appears to be spot on.
Damn you, Andreas. Dear Tremina.
A letter from your family, eh?
How did you know?
Again, merely a supposition.
They thanked me for defeating the bandits. It seems they got wind of my involvement somehow.
I see.
Wait. Was it you? Did you go and inform them?
I did no such thing. There are any number of ways they could have found out.
I suppose so. Still, this might be a good moment for me to visit home.
Yes, go. But if you aren't back for the next mission, there is no place for you here.
I understand.
Would you be willing to accompany us on our next mission, Princess Hezelia?
Yes, but
Hmm?
in the short time since I left Beazle Tower, it has been battle after battle, day after day. When will people stop killing each other?
We carry on killing so that one day we can put an end to it.
How does that make any sense?
I do not expect you to understand right away. And besides, our enemy this time is but demi-human. A swarm was sighted in the Eastfield swampland. Preferable to fighting real humans, I'd say.
Demi-humans? Those creatures whose bodies are infused with jade? They were once human too, were they not?
Why not see for yourself? You'll soon see that they have not a scrap of humanity. We will depart as soon as we are ready.
Very well.
We will engage them shortly, Your Highness.
So, those are the demi-humans. Can they use ancient sorcery? They are infused with jade after all.
Of course not. They may resemble humans, but we must think of them as mad beasts.
But I feel a power emanating from them that is similar to that of jade. If it is jade that is the cause of their physical prowess, then...
Princess?
Forgive me. I shall focus on the battle at hand.
Thank you, Your Highness. The demi-humans have been eliminated. The mission is a success.
It has also provided me with a valuable insight.
An insight?
I hope to show you the fruits of my investigations in due time.
I look forward to it. Princess Azalea, your powers of ancient sorcery have grown markedly.
Yes. The battle against the demi-humans gave me an opportunity to refine them. I've adjusted my awareness. My sensation of focusing during ancient sorcery incantations.
The way they fought was instructive for improving your magic.
Exactly. It is hard to explain. I'm sorry if what I say is impenetrable.
You bear the mark of the blessed, Your Highness. Your grasp of magic far exceeds the average man's. It is only natural that you would find insights that others would not.
You know, I am coming to understand what you said. About killing in order to stop the killing. The demi-human souls have empowered me, so I must ensure their deaths were not in vain. You seek to do something similar, do you not?
I couldn't say.
Then I shall continue to fight until I understand.
What news of the Imperial stragglers?
It seems they may not in fact be mere stragglers.
Have you some new information?
Reports claim that there are a significant number of elite soldiers included in their ranks. Our intelligence suggests that the largest gatherings of the remnant forces are taking place at Gaiyen mines. The mines are remote and contain deposits of highly concentrated jade. What's more, the surrounding terrain is barely penetrable. It's the ideal base for the Imperials.
Damn it! Is there no end to them? I shall drive them all out!
Calm down. How will the kingdom find peace with a king who jumps at shadows?
But this is our chance while they are all assembled. We should send our best and crush them.
Fine. Do what you will.
The Imperial scum have been found. Onwards to victory. Another triumph for King Levantia.
Why is His Majesty in such a rage?
How should I know?
The Imperial threat is vanquished at last. Now we shall make our grand return to Central Field.
You don't wonder why the Imperial forces chose to gather in this god-forsaken place?
If you've something to say, Riaz, then come out and say it. I've grown tired of your weaselly ways.
Have you indeed?
The Blue Foxes slay the Imperials in Gaiyen mines and are making preparations to return home. when they receive word that an even larger force has been sighted in Westfield. Frederick immediately decides to confront them, determined to drive the Empire out of the kingdom. And so, the Blue Foxes march for Rigyar Strand, where the Imperials are said to be hiding. The Strand is land that once belonged to a noble named Alrim Lester. It was the place where Frederick and Andreas first met.
The thought of visiting Rigyar Strand has made my brother rather pensive.
I'm not surprised. It is the place where Prince Levantia spent his childhood. I imagine he is particularly keen to rid it of the Empire's presence. What is it?
And you are also similarly compelled?
No, not particularly.
Oh, I see. I must have been mistaken. I thought I'd learned to read people's subtleties, but perhaps not.
We have received reports of Imperial troops occupying Westfield's Rigyar Strand.
Ah, Rigyar. I know it well.
They are far greater in number than those that had gathered in Gaian mines. What's more, they are operating without secrecy. It seems to be almost a provocation.
Fear not. I have knowledge of the terrain. I shall summon enough knights to overpower the Imperials. We shall trap them in a pincer and end this once and for all.
It is surprising, though. How could so many of the enemy have entered the kingdom?
It is likely that they trickled in through the port in Dagland before we were able to take it back from the Empire. And now they've begun to move.
Kill them all. Rigyar is Lesterland. I shan't have Imperial boots despoiling it.
Yes, it means much to me too.
Then you ought not object. We shall eradicate the Empire from our lands.
The enemy has divided their force into multiple groups.
Then we shall simply crush them one by one. With our numbers, it will be an easy task.
Perhaps so, but you have summoned all of the Royal Knights to accomplish it. Which means that all of our might is focused here. Our defenses have never been weaker.
Which is why we must make as short work of this as possible. A job well done. Now, to hunt down the survivors.
Aye.
Fred! Rias! Grave news!
In an attempt to defeat the Empire's elite forces, Frederick focuses all his might on Rigyar Strand. But just as their foes are defeated and victory is at hand, the Blue Foxes receive ill tidings. Imperial vessels bearing soldiers have appeared to the south and east of DioField. And strategic points in Southfield and Eastfield have already been captured. Shortly afterwards, thousands of Imperial soldiers begin to march on the capital. Consolidating their presence in Central Field, they set up camp in the rocks and Gaudian grasslands. From this position of strength, their commander, Zavatian Shugel, calls for Alatane's surrender. Frederick vehemently protests, but he lacks the soldiers and resources to face the Empire's might. And so, he reluctantly agrees to surrender at a formal signing ceremony to be held at Castle Alatane.
What's the meaning of this?
Damn!
I'll clear a path. All the more reason.
Indeed.
Just what are you getting at?
So that means...
No.
This should do it. How about this? That's why.
Understood.
Right. Let us go over the plan once more. We agreed to the Empire's demand for surrender in order to lure out Zavatian and kill him. The signing ceremony is to be held on the morrow at Castle Alatane. Fred, it is vital that you attend in person.
And attend I shall. Where shall I lure the general to?
As far into the castle as possible. Signal us immediately if he begins to suspect anything. We will then destroy the castle gates, separating him from his forces outside. With their general dead, the Imperial army will be in disarray.
And in that disarray, our forces will then pounce upon them from all sides, stopping this cursed invasion dead in its tracks.
It's certainly a clever plan. But even with their leader taken out, the Imperial army will be far more powerful than ours. And turning the town into a battleground will result in countless civilian casualties.
Defeating Zavatian has to take priority.
We've come this far. Sacrifices must be made.
But that's...
Enough, Lorraine. This is not up for debate. You may go.
Understood.
I'll start making preparations.
Wait, Riaz. Going back to Leicestershire after all this time, it brought back memories.
That it did.
And it made me wonder, am I still that same person?
You haven't changed much. You're still the Frederick Lester I knew.
So you are the King of Alatane, Levantia Shatham.
Aye.
You don't intend to surrender.
Now! Blow the gates! Blue Foxes, come forth!
A valiant effort, but alas, an effort in vain. Bring the airship round.
Sir!
Kill them all, just like we planned.
The Empire were planning this all along. They were founded by bandits, and they are still no more than a pack of wild beasts. Men, we will not cede to them another inch of our land. Lay down your lives if you must. Their general dies today.
A rousing speech. One that will go down in history as the final address of King Levantia the Lackwit.
Curse you! You will not escape me! Yes! You... What is the meaning of this?
A flood of memories came rushing forth, of the day that started everything. Memories of a time before I became Andreas Ronderson. Memories of how I cowered as my parents were killed as if they were mere animals. And of how, still coated in their blood, that man turned his gaze upon me. That man, that despicable man, Zavatian Shugel. The first ambition I ever had in my life was to crush him into insignificance, to destroy him absolutely. I was taken to the Empire and became Andreas Ronderson. All I recall from back then is relentless training and study. And one day, I was summoned by a man whose bearing was dignified but devoid of human warmth. He stuck out his hand and said to me, my mind instantly flashed back to his gaze on that day, and my resolve became unshakable. I was going to accomplish my objective while holding true to my beliefs. Shortly after that, I was appointed as the Chamberlain of the fourth-born Prince of Alatain, Levantia Shatham. Upon meeting Levantia, I discovered a new objective: to give power to those who would do right with it. But in the end, I failed to protect him. With Levantia gone, my focus returned to my first objective: eliminating Zavatian, regardless of the cost. And now, I will fulfill my second with what I'm about to do.
We did it. Rias! Rias, what's wrong? It's over, right?
Aye. It's over now. Fred.
My arduous research into necromancy had reached a plateau. But then I obtained a Magicraft artifact giving me control over the corpses of ancient dragons. I thought it would be exactly what I needed to gain further power. However, things were not that simple. After that, I continued to look for anything that could help me out of my slump. I struck lucky again when I uncovered a report on jade research among the late Henday's possessions. Apart from meticulously written notes, there was another piece of information that took my fancy. A rumor of a magic tome sealed away in the Southfield catacombs. I could feel a grin growing across my face in that cellar under Elm Camp. Things are getting interesting. However, the Southfield Catacombs, it's not exactly the safest place to be at the moment. Going alone is probably not the best idea. I could drag him into this. I'm overcome with a craving for something sweet. Was there anything else? I can't trust some bandits to fetch it for me. But could I put them to work for me indirectly? If it's not safe to go alone, I could turn it into a mission for my unit. Well, I have my work cut out for me.
What exactly are you doing here?
Planning a vast range of research projects I could tinker away at in this fantastic location.
Research that needs to be carried out away from prying eyes?
How could I focus with Gorkas looking over my shoulder? More importantly, I have a mission for you.
What are you talking about?
Bandits, loitering in the catacombs, where the nobles had been plotting their revolt.
I have heard about them, as it happens. They've been lured there by rumors of hidden treasure that someone has been spreading recently.
Oh, is that so? It would appear you're better informed than I. Regardless of their reason for being there, we surely cannot ignore them.
No. It's best not to give them the opportunity to stir any trouble.
Always a man of reason, Andreas. Well, shall we go to the catacombs? Oh dear! Where are the bandits? All I see is a pile of corpses. Are necromancer's puppets, perhaps?
You knew it would be like this, didn't you?
Whatever do you mean? Either way, it's less hassle for us. Why don't we split up and search for survivors? And here it is! The magic tome I've been looking for. What kind of delightful forbidden knowledge will this beautiful book bestow upon me? Ah, was it the power of the tome that attracted them? Well, I'm grateful for that. I couldn't have asked for a better environment to test my new acquisition. Even in this sorry state, what exhilarating power! But if I could restore it, that'd be even more fun to have. I'll make it my mission. With the new magic tome, at last I made progress with my research. Yet some parts are too damaged to be decipherable. I must restore it to draw out its full potential. For that, I need high-purity jade. I can scarcely hope to find it available through legal channels. There could well be a tome in perfect condition out there somewhere. But I have no leads. Eyes a lair. That could work. I'd been so busy recently. I've not had a chance to go shopping for quite some time. He does have a knack for sniffing things out. I'll speak with Isolair. Rias won't be able to help getting involved. If dearest Izzy requests his aid, Rias will be loath to say no.
High purity jade, you say?
It's vital for my research. Would it be possible for you to obtain some?
It's no small matter. Remember the lengths Duke Hende went to in order to retrieve the stolen jade?
Oh yes. Whatever became of that jade, I wonder? It wasn't among the Duke's possessions, was it?
Unfortunately not.
Then we will need to think of somewhere else to source it from.
What do you intend to use it for? Restoring the power of a magical tome? By any chance?
Well, you must be a mind reader.
In the legends, studying the dark arts erodes the sorcerer's sanity, you know.
Oh, really?
Ah, there you are, Rias.
Were you looking for me, Izzy?
Yes, to seek your counsel on Quinn's behalf.
Quinn, explain.
You don't doubt the value of my research to the unit, do you? It so happens I've run into a problem.
Don't be fooled, Izzy. Quinn is only ever driven by self-interest.
Surely you don't mean that?
You only ever see the worst in people, Rias. Come on, we should help out, shouldn't we? Don't try and pretend you're too busy.
Well, Rias? What a pleasant surprise that you'd help me, Rias.
I knew you'd nag me relentlessly until I gave in.
Someone's heading our way. Wait, they're demi-humans? You said this was a lair of bandits who'd been stockpiling jade.
Well, they must have been corrupted by exposure to high-purity jade. Fools. Is that all that's left of them?
It seems so.
Are you running out of stamina, Izzy?
I've never fought this many demi-humans before. I do feel a bit worn out, but I will hold out as long as needed to eliminate them all, for everyone's safety.
That's the spirit. Everyone must pull their weight.
Could we have saved these people if we'd arrived sooner?
Who can say? I personally reckon they'd have met the same fate sooner or later.
I'd rather not be so defeatist.
Well, the world needs hopeless idealists like you too. I'm making good progress restoring the tome. And yet I sense that something's still missing. It would be irksome indeed if it failed to fulfill its potential after all this effort. But of course, nothing enhances an arcane object's potency more than the souls of the slain. I suppose I could add some embellishments. Perhaps first of all, I should test the tome to evaluate the increase in its power. What would I gain from talking to him? I expect she'd have something amusing to say, but not on the topic that interests me right now. I'm treading close to the limit of his patience already. I can't rely on him every time. Let's keep it simple and undertake a mission which would give me the opportunity to harvest souls. With that decided, I'll need to find me an unsuspecting accomplice. Ah, Isolair.
Hello, Quinn.
What could possibly bring you down here?
The atmosphere here feels quite novel to me. Quite like it.
Really? Well, you come at a good time. I've been wondering if I could ask you for assistance.
I'm glad you're relying on me more recently. How can I be of help?
An acquaintance has requested that I take care of some Imperial spies.
Spies? In our kingdom?
Indeed. They are of Alitanian birth, which is why we must act from the shadows.
I see. Am I right in assuming you'd like to enlist me for this mission?
That's correct. I would greatly appreciate your help.
If it's in the interest of our kingdom, I could not possibly refuse.
You're very dependable.
Quinn, I ask that you refrain from dragging Izzy into your schemes.
Sorry, but I haven't the foggiest what you're referring to.
The mission? The targets aren't spies, but nobles, inconvenient to the government. Isn't that so?
That's right. It's dirty work. What we're suited best for.
I'd rather you didn't deceive Izzy to get her to help you.
She's so precious to you, isn't she?
It's not about Izzy. Never lie to a friend to get your way.
We're all friends here, aren't we? Though it was hardly a lie. Perhaps just a little white one. There's no harm in presenting the task to Isolare in a way which will weigh less on her conscience. Well, shall we get to it? We mustn't let even a single one slip through our fingers.
I shall do my very best.
What in the world? Why are the Blue Foxes attacking us?
Oh, play coy all you want, filthy traitors. You shan't wriggle out of your punishment.
What nonsense is this? You've no right to be trespassing on a noble's estate.
This innocent act is becoming stale. Surrender and I shall end your life mercifully. Ugh. Thank you for the help, Isolare.
You needn't have lied to me about that noble being a traitor.
So, you realized?
As mercenaries, we fight for the coin, not for honor. That's what my father taught me. Next time, don't dress up the truth for my sake.
Well, well. I see I've underestimated you. Greetings, Andreas. Have you noticed how that favor for the government has earned us more freedom?
I'd attribute it to the fact we've proven our value to the nation, silencing opposing voices.
Isolare's come around too. All's well that ends well. Isn't that so?
And I presume your research has greatly benefited from our last mission.
Oh, those are entirely unrelated matters. I heard an interesting little tidbit from an acquaintance in the Lord's Council. Apparently, the Granville Church was once involved in the study of necromancy, preaching about salvation while conducting godless experiments. That's so rich. Beat the rug enough and some dust will come out, I'm sure. Seems worth a try. I don't believe Estelt has any loyalty to the church. He may know a thing or two, but Catherine used to serve the church. But being on the run, I doubt she'd be of any use to me. Why not rope Andreas into this? This might even be a mission after his own heart. Perhaps I could get my ally in the Lord's Council to pull some strings. Mercenaries bringing justice to the wrongdoers. It's as flawless a front as can be. Violence perpetrated in the name of justice gets all the applause in our strange world.
Human trafficking? The church can't be allowed to get away with this.
I absolutely agree.
Rias, shall we go?
We shall.
What are you lot doing here? This land belongs to the Granville Church. The Blue Foxes! What's the meaning of this intrusion?
Why does the sight of us unnerve you so? Do you have something to hide?
What are you implying? We serve the church, acting in God's name.
Do you not fear for your soul? Do you suppose your God cannot see through your lies?
What addled nonsense. If you won't leave as I ask, I shall have to eject you by force.
You won't get away with this lightly.
They are strangely protective over this place, aren't they?
Perhaps there's even more going on, besides human trafficking.
There's only one way to find out. It would seem we've stirred up a hornet's nest by coming here.
There must be something here they really don't want exposed to the public eye. We might be able to weaponize the secrets we uncover against church factions later. We found irrefutable evidence of the church trafficking people on the site we raided.
That's what I'd been telling you from the start. Why tell me this now?
Because I don't believe for a second that you set up this mission without an ulterior motive.
Do you place so little trust in your fellow Blue Fox leader?
Your point being?
As a good leader, I organized a mission which benefited our interests.
How did it benefit us?
Ridding the country of despicable human traffickers is to our credit, isn't it?
I don't see what you're getting at.
Oh, then perhaps I've misread you on this occasion. I was able to glean much from the church's research into necromancy. As a result, promising new avenues have opened up. Chaos reigns across Alatain. While I don't find that objectionable, it makes foes harder to spot. I don't personally care much about the unit's status or reputation. With Hende in his grave, the biggest barrier to my freedom is gone. So much amusement awaits. I wonder if the church's trafficking operation has been fully snuffed out. I suspect not. I should spend more time with Rias. He can be so hilarious to tease. Heights to which none have yet risen are within my reach. That is what I must tell myself. I'm at my happiest when I follow the vagaries of my fancy. Why deny my nature? Should anyone stand in my way, an ugly fate awaits them. You're looking awfully troubled, Rias.
I've had word. That church faction is preparing to strike back at us.
They would dare. What nerve?
That's your only comment?
What else needs to be said? You intend to preempt their attack, I assume?
That's right. We need to put them down before they rally anyone else to their cause.
I'll inform Harlig Lin that we'll be taking care of a rogue faction. They won't object, given how damaging another scandal would be to them. They needed only to stay out of our way. And instead they've chosen death. How sadly unnecessary.
I infer that you have a rather close relationship with someone at the church.
Oh, does that bother you?
Make friends with whoever you like, as long as it doesn't conflict with our unit's interests.
What if I don't listen? Have you a leash prepared for me?
Trying to curb your freedoms would only have the opposite effect.
Oh, do you take me for such a rebel?
All right, enough of this. Take care of your behind-the-scenes dealings with the church quickly.
I always act swiftly. I'll leave it to you to prepare the unit for the mission.
As you should.
Ah, here come the blue foxes.
Aye, we caught the scent of your insolence and have come out for a hunt.
So, the foxes willingly come seeking the foxhounds. Why, if it isn't the height of stupidity? You couldn't have come at a better time, as it happens.
What do you mean?
You shall bear witness to the result of our magnificent research project.
They've cut us off. They're in control of that beast, it seems.
Begging us for your lives is no good now. Maybe the behemoth will lend you an ear.
Oh, what a delight! I was worried we might be in for another one-sided slaughter. Both you and I have been engaged in much research recently. Let's see whose is worthier. Ah, that was fairly enjoyable. I see I need to revise my low opinion of the church.
Quinn, I don't want you instigating more unnecessary trouble.
Oh, don't be a killjoy. Don't you understand the pleasure of executing a plan exactly as envisaged?
Are you saying?
The pawns need not be aware of the player's strategy, nor is their approval needed to win a match. Logical, isn't it?
In a twisted way.
We make a splendid team. I'm sure we'll have many more such thrilling adventures.
We have a problem, Quinn.
Oh? What might that be?
The enchanted beast we fought the other day.
Didn't the Royal Knights cart it off for research?
Unfortunately, even in its weakened state, it broke loose during transit and fled.
Good grief. What a show of impotence. What's the situation now?
They say it's gone back to its lair. Back to where we fought it. The squad which attempted to recapture it was massacred.
I suppose it's gone completely berserk now that it's wounded.
Quite possibly. Either way, we have to take care of it.
I don't find pleasure in returning to a plaything I already discarded.
I'm not giving you a choice here. Helping to solve the problem you caused is the least you should do.
All right. I'll make an exception this one time.
I've received a report confirming that the enchanted beast is now safely in captivity.
It led us on quite the merry dance. I should hope we can now put that matter to rest.
Yes. And we've also been paid more than expected. The bonus is presumably to ensure we don't talk about the knight's embarrassing failures.
It seems their honor must be preserved at all costs, merited or not. Oh well, a reward is a reward.